name is Gabe Van Lelyveld. I'm the owner of Whaleheart Productions, and I have over a decade of experience in filmmaking and making videos for clients. Today I'm going to talk about how to get the most for your money when you're making a video for your business or nonprofit. And number one is shorter is better. It's always better to leave your audience wanting a little bit more rather than giving them a little bit more than they want and boring them. As soon as you start to lose people's attention, especially online, they're going to start checking their email or Facebook or some other thing, and they may never come back to watching your video, even if they thought it was pretty good. You really need to capture their attention and hold it all the way to the finish. For a lot of business promotional or nonprofit fundraising videos, we're really talking about 2, maybe 3 minutes tops, sometimes less. Remember that when people are on their computer watching a video, they're almost always thinking about a couple other things at the same time, or there are a few other things they could be doing right there at their fingertips. And so you just never want to lose their attention. So that's one, shorter is better. Number two is pack it in when you're shooting. Find out how to get the most high quality footage you can in the minimum unit of time that you need when you're hiring a videographer. So most videographers will have a half a day rate and a day rate. The half a day is usually up to 6 hours and a day is up to 12 hours. And that is for the shooting period of the project, and which is the most expensive part of the project. If you can do everything you need in a half a day, that's great. A typical interview setup where you have multiple lights takes a couple hours because there's a lot of setup time, there's the interviewing itself, and then the breakdown time. So if you're talking about half a day, 6 hours, it really is, you're looking at on average just like one interview setup and footage to cover the content from the interview that you want to include. So shots of your products or people performing your service or your nonprofit out doing what they do best. Number three is to have as few location changes during the shooting portion of the project as well. Figure out how you can maximize the value of each location. Maybe that means you just change the background of something a little bit and shoot it as if you were in a different location. Basically, each time you change locations, you lose a significant amount of the shooting day or half a day. And so you just want to minimize the number of location changes while shooting. And the next one is also about shooting, and that is to minimize the number of light setups. A typical interview lighting setup can take an hour or two, especially a 2-camera setup, including all the audio gear, and then there's the breakdown time as well. So if you're talking about trying to make a video for your nonprofit or your business in half a day, shooting it in half a day, that interview portion might take up half that time. And so you want to keep the lighting simple, but also utilize lighting so that your video looks really great. The next tip is also about efficiency during shooting, and that is you want to choose to shoot on private locations where you have permission or can easily get permission, or in inconspicuous locations where you don't really need a permit or can get away without getting a permit. The last thing you want to do is be shooting in public and have someone come up and say, hey, where's your permit? And you have to stop right then and there. You don't have the footage you need. Maybe you have to schedule an extra half a day just to get a couple of shots. It can be a real hassle, and you want to avoid that at all costs. The last tip is if you're working with narration, really spend time with your script. Make sure you memorize it. One technique that actors use in stage productions is they will take 7 coins, they'll put them over here, and they will read their script 7 times without trying to memorize it at all. They're just reading it, and they move a coin over each time. The next step is they'll break their script down into very, very small chunks, maybe 2 sentences, and they'll read each chunk 7 times, move a coin over each time, and go through every single chunk reading it 7 times. And at this point, you're still not trying to memorize it at all. The next step is memorizing each chunk and being able to repeat it 7 times without actually looking at the words at all. And then finally, memorize the whole thing and repeat it 7 times. And if you do that, I guarantee when you show up for shooting, you will be ready to deliver the narration in a very natural way, and you'll be able to do it quickly. And that'll free you up to be able to spend the time you need to get really high quality footage for the entire rest of your shoot. That's it for my 6 tips to get the best business or nonprofit video for your money. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.